Hey guys, welcome to David vs. Film. I am David, yo soy David. To my right is Marc.
Yo soy Marc.
And tonight we are spilling the peach tea on your comments from the last 3 Harry Potter movies. So a big hey, hi, and hello to all of you, but to returning viewers and especially returning subscribers, what's up? Now, first and foremost, if you guys haven't checked out our Patreon, please check it out. We have a lot of fun over there. There you can find full-length reactions to our videos, early access, Discord benefits, and more. Patreon.com/DavidVsFilm. But if YouTube is your thing, we certainly understand. We only ask you consider clicking subscribe and the notification bell if you do. A like and a share is always appreciated. And if we're not friends on Instagram, let's be friends. I'll leave a link to my Instagram in the description down below. So Harry Potter, we're all done. Now, if you guys saw the last video, you already know that. But it would not be complete without one final spilling the peach tea on your comments, your amazing comments that you left for the last 3 films. If you haven't seen these videos before, it's basically just a chance for us to take a deeper dive into your thoughts on the movies, to learn more from what you've told us, and give you guys the appreciation you deserve for taking the time to leave the amazing comments that you do. So thank you from both of us for that. We're going to jump right in. What we've done, if you haven't seen these videos before, which you should, I'll leave a link to the first one if you want to see that. But what we usually do is we pull about 5 or 6 comments from each film, and then we talk about your comments. Now, sometimes they are, direct questions about the movie or comments about the movie. Sometimes they're questions or comments about us or the channel. Sometimes they're representative of many. So we'll choose one comment that actually represents a lot. We wish we could choose them all, but it's an embarrassment of riches. You guys are so nice. So if you're not in this one, hopefully we'll get a chance to include you in a future Spilling the Peach Tea. But for now, we are going to jump right on in to, unless you have something else you want to say.
Jump right in.
I know he's excited to get in the comments. Marc likes to get in the comments. So
I love that.
Okay, so we'll start off with Half-Blood Prince. And we are going to start. Now, let me tell you a quick note. Marc is better than I am. My pronunciation is horrible. I know you guys know that already, so apologies in advance. I love you so much regardless. If I say your name wrong, my 1,000 apologies. But we start off with Atafakari. Atafakari writes, hey, Ataf, a bit of trivia. The movies explain the Horcrux thing a bit wrong. If you make a Horcrux, then die. You don't lose half your soul and live on the rest. Horcruxes are not backups in case you die. They don't get spent. Making one Horcrux doesn't give you extra life. It makes you immortal. They are anchors to the mortal plane. If you die, the Horcrux that is hidden doesn't let the part of your soul and your body pass on to the other side. As long as you have hidden a Horcrux and it is not destroyed, you literally can't die. If someone tries to kill you, you just lose your body. Yes. Thank you for the clarifications there. As you guys know, I don't have to tell you because you've told me many times, the movies are no replacement for the books. They are great representations of the text, but you can't capture everything. And I think there's a lot that you guys gleaned from reading the actual books and have been so generous to help us understand as just basic movie watchers. So thank you for that comment. And thank you for helping us understand a little bit more how the Horcruxes work.
Yeah, for sure. I didn't know that. Michael Nolan. Hey, Michael.
Hey, Michael.
Michael Nolan writes, I read the book in 2006 and was really taken aback by how adult the themes were. Harry and friends clearly haven't grown up yet, but the situations they encounter give no effects about it, for sure. Dumbledore's trust in Snape, despite our experience of him as an audience being so negative, makes us wonder if Dumbledore had information we didn't know. Hey, that's true. Then Snape says Avacadabra. I always want to say abracadabra.
I always say it wrong.
Deliberately to Dumbledore and reveals that he was, in fact, the Half-Blood Prince. Dun, dun, dun.
Yeah,
wow.
Right.
The shock of his betrayal is real, as is the pain of Dumbledore's death. We are left with the knowledge that the world is a very dark and dangerous place for everyone, even kindly arch-wizards and kids. Oh, that's so true. I noticed that the films all kind of went into a dark place as they went along towards the end.
Which I knew you would like.
Yeah, I like that.
Yeah. And I like it too, but I was definitely a fan of more of the earlier films. And I laugh about Avada Kedavra because we always say it wrong. And I'm just giving up at this point. I can't learn because... And it also because when you see Voldemort say it, he does it like really like emotionally. And I'm like, what the hell? So I never can say it right. You guys, so many of you have tried to tell us the right way to say it, and hey, thanks for that, but it's a lost cause. Yeah. Avada Kedavra, I think is what Avada Kedavra. I think. I'm probably still saying it wrong. Okay, next up we have a Patterned Horizon. Hey, I love this guy so much. His comments are so good. He's commented on every Harry Potter movie I'm pretty sure that we've done. So thank you so much for being such a great supporter. A Pattern Horizon writes, finally, the beginning of the epic end. The brute at the beginning, Fenrir Greyback, is the werewolf that bit Lupin as a child. Harry gave the twins his winnings from the Goblet of Fire for their startup. The actress that played Draco's mom died recently, and yes, Bellatrix is his aunt, however you say it, which means that Sirius Black is related to the Malfoys. Most of Sirius's family went bad, and now we're obsessed with being pure-blooded, which is why Kreacher, remember Kreacher, like Dobby, is the way that he is. And I've always compared how a Harry acted on the Liquid Luck to Adderall. Yeah, so definitely on that. I love that scene, by the way, when he's tick, 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 tick. I love all that when he's on the Liquid Luck. But I really wanted to pull this comment. So many of you echoed things that A Patterned Horizon said in his excellent thoughts. But one for sure was about the winnings. So that was something that is not explained in the movies, unless I missed it, that you guys told me was very clear in the books, that Harry gave his winnings from the Triwizard Championship to Fred and George to start their store. And they made a comment, something along the lines of, your money's no good here, something like that. I love that. So I thought that was a really great moment. And I knew that also about the actress who played Malfoy's mother dying. I loved her. She played Cherie Blair in like a couple of movies. I remember in these biographical films about Tony Blair. She was in The Queen. So I was really sad to hear that, but that she had passed away. But yeah, excellent comment. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Ladrak One. Hey Ladrak. Ladrak One writes, as an adaptation of the book, this scores as maybe the lowest out of the movies. It's not very true at all to some of the things, and Harry and Ginny's romance really comes out of nowhere in the movies, which is one of the biggest gripes with them as a whole. However, as a developing mystery, this movie is really well made and plays super well, for sure. I kind of noticed that just Ginny and Harry's love just comes out of nowhere.
Yeah, no, it's just kind of out there. Yeah, I agree. And Ginny in general just kind of comes out. I mean, you see her as like Ron's sister, right? Yeah. Of course, you know what I mean. But then suddenly she's like, the mayor's wife, and you're like, when the hell did this happen?
Fall in love,
yeah, exactly. And then I've never been a huge Ginny fan. No offense towards her. I'm sure if I met her and we got drinks, she's very lovely. But I'm not a big fan of Ginny. I like seeing Harry solo. You know what I mean? Yeah. I like El Solo Harry, but I guess he's got to find love like all the rest of us, right?
That's true.
So, anyway, yeah, but I also pulled that comment because you guys are so good about, you might have a criticism, you'll like say something about, that you didn't like the way a movie addressed this in the book, or it omitted that from the books. But you're always so positive also. Like, your comments are so balanced. I'm just in awe of that every time. Like, again, if there's any kind of criticism or a negative comment, you always follow it up with, but I like the way they set up this, or I like the way they developed that. And you guys are just amazing. The best viewers ever. I'm telling you guys. So thank you so much for that comment. All right, next up we got Travis Mason. Hey, Travis. Travis writes, well, I read these books the same day as they came out. I believe that after talking to Travis. I stood in line at Barnes & Noble, which was a bookstore for you guys who might be younger. We used to have those before Amazon came along. At midnight to get them when they stayed open for these events. I can't say much because I don't want to ruin it, and you guys are also so good about not spoiling things. Thank you for that. But I had huge suspicions as I was reading, which were confirmed when the final book movie came out. About events and loyalties of certain people. P.S. I love Snape. So he puts his little, clue at the end there. But yeah, definitely. I remember seeing the people in costume, going to get the books. Same with the movies.
Like when
the movies came out. Oh yeah, totally. Like when Apple releases something, like the lines outside. And so definitely some of the most loyal fans that you'll ever see, which I have to tell you guys. You guys, so many of you are those loyal fans, so but yeah, I have to say I read the books up until about, I think I read Goblet, and then I never read Order of the Phoenix. So that's where I stopped. I need to read. I know you guys think Marc needs to read, so.
Mario Longoria. Hey, Mario. Mario writes, my favorite film of this series. The score to this is amazing. It really touches the soul. It really does.
Yeah.
I really enjoyed the opening of every film has the score and like a different tune.
Yeah.
I think it
was so unique.
Really cool. Yeah.
Like in the beginning, it was more whimsical.
And towards the end, it turns more.
We're all gonna die.
Yeah, dark and mysterious. I like that. Dramatic.
And
score.
Even the logo too. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? Like it was always kind of like a little dark, but like at the end, it's basically just Warner Brothers, just black. You can't even hardly see it. Just bats flying around. It looks like Batman starting up.
That's true.
But yeah, so good. So Thank you guys so much for all your comments. Again, like I said, in a perfect world, we would read them all and be here for 6 hours, which I know you guys probably wouldn't be, but we would. We wouldn't mind at all. But thank you for all of the great thoughts that you left us on Half-Blood Prince. It was a movie that we enjoyed. So now we move on to Deathly Hallows Part 1. This was the beginning of the end. It was a big book, right, that they split into 2 movies. I'm sure only for our benefit, not to make more money off 2 separate films. They would never do that, right? Of course not. But regardless, it's nice because then we got to watch 2 more compact films, I would say, than one big one. And I have to say, I was really surprised that the ending felt as complete as it did with the death of someone that we'll get to in a minute. But I was afraid it was just going to stop. I was afraid watching, because it's not the end of the book, that it would feel just kind of incomplete, but it didn't. It felt like a nice movie. Wouldn't you agree with that? You think, right? I think so. Good. Yeah. But we'll jump into your comments. And again, I'm going to have Marc do the official pronunciation of this fine lady's name, because I do not want to butcher it since his Spanish is better than mine.
All right. Joana Andrade Pereira.
Yes. Hey, Joanna. See how I jumped in there like I knew it the whole time? So my favorite part of this book is when Harry is walking in Sirius's house and finds a letter written by Lily with a picture of a very young baby Harry Potter flying in a toy broomstick and saying, "Thanks for the gift, Sirius. He loved it. It's so sweet. I always cry reading this part." And I actually joined this with a comment from Amber.42 because they were so similar and they were kind of addressing what I want to say in one of my comments, which is, the most beautiful part of the book for me was when they went to Luna's house. They were in her room and found she had painted all of them on her ceiling and surrounded the painting with a circle of the word friends repeated interlocked. My God. That almost makes me want to cry. Just reading that. And so the reason I pulled, and thank you guys for your comments. The reason I pulled those 2 and put them together was because, and we'll talk about this more when we get to Deathly Hallows Part 2. We didn't cry a lot. And that's kind of surprised me, especially in the second one, because I figured we would have. And I started thinking about it, and, because I usually think about things. And I started thinking about it, and I was like, I think a lot of it is because they cut out so much of the emotional heart, I would say, of the last 2 movies. And I know there's a comment we're gonna talk about in a second about, like with the Dursleys, for example, leaving and some deleted scenes there. But I feel like if we had seen scenes like these, it would have been way more emotional for me. Yeah. I can tell you right now. If I had seen that scene of Harry or of Luna's bedroom, oh my God, tears right away. So I get that they kind of want to make it more action, and I appreciate that as well, because we enjoyed that. But I would have liked to have seen more of what I call the heart moments,
There was a lot of action for sure. And
a lot of action.
When there was a dramatic scene, it was very hard to focus on it because they would immediately move to
very quick,
more action-packed.
Very short. Yeah. That's true. So thank you, ladies, for your comments on that. I certainly appreciate it, and I agree with you. I think those would have been amazing things to see.
Oh, yeah, for sure. Dog T, hey Dog T writes, Dobby's death hurt so much, and yet in the movies we had so little of him. That's so true. It's especially heartbreaking when in the movies, last time we saw him, he was saying to Harry, "Never try to save my life again." He paid with his life. "I didn't mean to kill, only to harm badly," is an amazing take. That's so true. He goes, Dog T goes on to say, "I love how they show the 3 brothers tale. This animation was so good, and there is something we have to talk about next movie about one symbolism even J.K. Rowling herself didn't make on purpose." All right. He goes on to say, "I'm pissed they removed scenes of the Dursleys saying goodbye to Harry." Oh, that's true. We didn't see that part. "They had filmed them, yet decided otherwise. Vernon didn't change, but Dudley apologized, while Petunia showed a softer part of herself. Basically, she said to Harry that he hadn't just lost a mother. She, too, had lost a sister. I always wonder if what we discovered in the last movie affected them all this time." That's so true. That makes sense. We didn't see that. So that's probably why they acted the way they did.
Yeah, I mean, and it would have been, I don't understand that. I think that I made the joke.
Should have written that into the movie.
I made the joke in one of the videos that the Dursleys had horrible agents because they didn't negotiate for them to be in some of the movies they should have been, and in the end they didn't get a proper goodbye. I would have loved to have seen that. There were deleted scenes I haven't shown you, and I watched a couple, but like I'll show you later of those. That they filmed with the Dursleys, but just didn't include them. And I don't know why. There was plenty of time. Listen, I'm not going to question too much, okay? But all that time we spent wandering in the woods and dancing to some music and stuff, y'all couldn't have just put a little bit with the Dursleys? I'm just saying. Or the parts, like I said earlier, about with Luna, and that, and including those moments. I would have liked to have seen those.
Yeah. That would have been good.
So excellent comment on that. Yeah, thank you so much. Yes, thank you. All right, so next up we have Ja R. Ja R writes, "Fun fact, the motorbike the one that Hagrid used in the first movie/book to bring Harry to the Dursleys, actually belonged to Sirius. Interesting. Thanks for this series, by the way. I love seeing new people fall in love with the Wizarding World. Aw, thank you so much. Really appreciate that. And that was the 2 reasons I pulled that one. Was because we certainly appreciate you guys, coming along on this journey with us. For me, like I said, I didn't remember a lot of these movies from Marc. I know he'd never seen them. So it has been so much fun getting to share it with you guys. And the motorbike thing, I had no idea. Yeah. That's actually a ride at Universal now. So I've been trying to get Marc to agree to go back because I really want to go, and he didn't really, want to go. But I think now I would appreciate the park even more now that I saw the series.
Yeah. I mean, when I first went, it's like I didn't really care for Harry Potter. I didn't know anything about it, so yeah. I guess I didn't appreciate the Wizarding World of Harry Potter and Universal.
It's true. Because I'm like walking around like, oh my god! Yeah. And Marc's like,
oh, okay, yeah.
Butter, beer, what?
But now it's like, for sure, like we should definitely go back.
Yeah, because they have a Hagrid's motorbike ride.
Check it out.
And so you go on that. It's like a fun like coaster. But the whole thing is great. Even going back to like what Mario said about the music, it's like they pipe the music in, and it's just so awesome. Magical. I love that place.
Check it out.
You can ride the Hogwarts Express, and it's just so much fun. I love it.
Might go again.
Yeah.
Never know.
Oh, and then one quick thing to circle back. Sorry guys. One quick thing. Going back for a minute to what Dog T wrote about the 3 brothers. I meant to talk about that. I love that animation. That I know you guys thought was probably blasphemous that I cut as much as I did. I had to, because that was something that was getting dinged on by YouTube for the copyright. So I really had to make major cuts. But I love the animation. You remember that, right? Where you find out the Deathly Hallows and how they got the wand. Death gave them the wand, the cloak, the stone. So great. So yeah, excellent note about that. Several of you mentioned that you enjoyed the animation on that, and I did as well. Just wanted to kind of circle back real quick, sorry, and mention that. But yeah.
Joyce Batalio. Hey, Joyce. Joyce Batalio writes, Harry losing Hedwig and Dobby always makes me tear up. I can't wait for the reactions to part 2.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
Those were like, that one had major players dying.
Oh yeah.
Right?
Part 2?
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Yeah. And we'll get to that in a second. That's true though, it did. But I was surprised at Hedwig, because I mean, we know Dobby and that goddess. Oh, I was shocked, honestly, with Marc.
Yeah, but Hedwig too.
That's why I knew that Marc had really gotten into it, because he cried. Because Marc never, he's like the Tin Man. He has a heart. I'm like, he never cries. But when he cried at Dobby, I was like, wow, he's really liking it.
I got really into it.
Yeah. And I have to say, yeah, with Hedwig, I didn't catch that when I was watching. Like, I saw the green, from the wand, which is usually right? Death. Yeah, when they're flying and they're trying to get Harry out of there, give him over to the Weasleys. And then he's with what's his name, Mad Eye, and then they killed Hedwig. And because I remember Hedwig up again like or whatever, but I just didn't put two and two that she died. Anyway, long story short, I was shocked at that, and I know you didn't see it in the movie or in the video I did, or that we did, but yeah, like after I went back and read you guys' comments, it was like, okay, finally, Vicky Zoo. Hey, Vicky. Vicky writes, love that this movie touched you. Can't wait for you to watch the last one. It has some of my favorite scenes from the whole series. Good job on this reaction, guys. Thank you. And Marc, please don't wait so long to the finale. It will pay off for the time you spent to watch the whole series.
Well, it did. Thank you. Yeah.
Yes, thank you, Vicky.
Amazing.
And I want to make one quick comment. One of the reasons I pulled this one was because Marc's job is a little different than mine. And so it doesn't really allow him as much time to do the videos. Yeah. And so that's why we would kind of go a long time between. So you guys have been so great with being patient, and we certainly appreciate it. Yeah. That's why we've talked about going forward. Marc wants to do more videos, which I think is awesome. So we'll see. I know there's some series we want to get into, like Hunger Games, and like I want to watch Pirates of the Caribbean, for example.
I haven't seen that.
Yeah, but we'll just have to see if what you guys think, because it might be kind of spaced out, and then we'll have to put other movies in between. But we'll talk about it. That's why. So thank you guys so much for your patience. I know the videos were kind of stretched out sometimes.
Yeah, for sure. Thanks, guys.
And that is Deathly Hallows 1. So then
Deathly Hallows 2.
Deathly Hallows 2.
God, the finale.
The finale. It was the last. It was everything. Yeah.
It was so good.
I know you enjoyed that one, right?
Oh my God. It was probably the best in the series. First up, Olivia. Hey, Olivia. Olivia writes, my favorite little detail from this movie is how Snape doesn't attack McGonagall, but shields himself and then actually directs her spells to the Death Eater standing behind him shortly before he flies out of the window. I didn't notice that.
Yeah, I didn't catch it either. Yeah. You guys told me that. I didn't know. I didn't catch it at all. And I mean, I saw they were fighting, right? Yeah. And of course I knew that Snape ended up being, good to some degree at the end. But I didn't catch it at all. Did you? Remember when she summoned the AARP and then... And then, she shot at him, and then he just deflected it and then went out the window. And by the way, that scene, for whatever reason, is the one that pings YouTube the most. So I had to cut so much from that. So you guys know, if it were up to me, I'd leave it all in. But I have to cut out for copyright, and that one was, for some reason, a scene that they really drilled down on. So yeah, so I know there was a lot gone from that. Sorry.
I don't think I caught that.
Yeah, I didn't either. Not
but if he did, I figured, like, I don't think he wants to hurt her.
No, of course not.
A little old lady.
Yeah, well, she's pretty strong anyway, but yeah, so thank you to Olivia. I appreciate that.
Thanks, Olivia.
Okay, next up we have Hannibal Fan 52. When the first movie started filming, J.K. Rowling told Alan Rickman, and only Alan Rickman, what she had planned for the character of Snape. That way he could give a fully rounded interpretation of the character that audiences would appreciate only after they had learned of Snape's death. No one else in the cast knew which way Snape's character would go until the first read-through of the final film. Yes, so I knew that she had shared with him sort of the direction that his character was going to go. I did know that. I didn't know what it was going to be. And I believe, if I'm not mistaken, that she had shared the always, the word, the big word from the last movie. And I'm pretty sure you knew that, but I could be wrong with that. You guys let me know if I am. But yeah, I thought that was so great. Can you imagine anyone else playing that character except for him?
I mean, I could think of maybe Johnny Depp playing that character, but Alan Rickman did so good. Did he win an award? Yeah. Did he win an award for that?
No.
Wow. I would have. Did any of the
not Harry really Potters no I mean like makeup, music, probably. Like they tend to not nominate like popular films as much sometimes. Why?
Like that was so good. I figured it'd win some kind
I agree
Academy Award or
nope, never did. But he's amazing, and like I still can't believe he's already passed away, but yeah.
Oh my gosh, wow. All right, next one, Jawando. Hey Jawando. Jawando writes, the resurrection stone didn't save Harry. The stone is merely a tool that creates a ghostly appearance of those dead come alive for you. Harry survived because the wand had the allegiance to Harry and let himself be attacked, so the spell just killed the part of Voldemort inside of him.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, I didn't know that.
Neither did I. Yeah. I figured resurrection stone, you can resurrect someone from the dead.
Yep, that's what I thought too. And we misunderstood that, and so many of you left a comment, so thank you for that. But yeah, so many of you left a comment just like this, informing us that no, the resurrection stone was just so you could like communicate with the dead, speak with the dead like you did, see the dead, allows them to revisit, I think, something like that. So we misread that totally. Sorry about that. Yeah, we kind of thought that it was how you could bring someone back. We thought that's how you would come back from the dead if you had to, but yeah. So apparently not. Okay, next up, Lauren Garcia. Hey, Lauren. Lauren writes, there were quite a few children that died in the Battle of Hogwarts that were in the books. The loss is big and sad. By the way, Harry intentionally dropped the Resurrection Stone in the Dark Forest. We didn't catch that either. Never to be found again. So the only Deathly Hallow he kept was the invisibility cloak. Yeah, I didn't catch that. Did you? Dropping the stone? Unless that was something in the book that was essentially not in the movie. Sometimes when you're doing reactions, there's a lot going on. We're talking. We're trying to, keep up with everything going on, so we missed stuff. But I don't think they showed that in the movie.
I don't remember that.
Yeah, so thank you, Lauren. I appreciate that. Yeah.
That's why you got to read the book.
Yeah, guess so.
All right, so next one, Michael W. 1980. Hey, Michael.
Hey, Michael.
Michael writes, the breaking of the wand is so far off. In the book, he used the Elder Wand to repair his wand and then left it with Dumbledore in the grave. That was interesting. I would have liked to seen that scene instead.
I would have too.
Yeah.
And I'm kind of surprised old JK. We'll have to ask her next time we're over there having tea with her, right? Why is she okay? It seems like a big detail. I understand she's kind of a stickler, for details, and so I'm surprised she let that go through.
I remember when he broke the wand.
I
kind of thought Mean Girls, when she breaks the crown.
A
piece for you, a piece for you, a piece for everyone. Well, but I would have liked the wand being buried with Dumbledore.
Yeah,
the wand should go with the wizard.
Yeah, and I think that even though it, changed allegiance, like it was Harry's technically, it's like I think Harry would have not minded, giving it back.
He might need it in the afterlife.
I mean obviously he did in the book, so
right.
There you go. But I would have liked to have seen it that way too. I have to be honest with you. Several of you made that comment. Several of you pointed out, and that's why I pulled this one, because so many people said this is just not how it was in the book. This is a complete deviation from that. So thanks, guys, for once again letting us know the differences between the books and the movies. We really appreciate that.
Yeah, for sure. Thank you.
Mez Macne. Hey, Mez Macne writes, fun fact, George could never conjure a Patronus after Fred's death because that requires a happy memory, and all of his best times were with his brother.
Oh, man.
Yeah, that's gutting. When you see that Harry isn't dead, in the background, you can see George turning sideways to tell Fred about it because that's his usual habit. The twins actually had a really hard time acting that part because seeing your brother dead has a lot of emotions poured into it, and it was cut short in the final editing. But they filmed how much George cried, and they actually had to stop filming to assure the actor it wasn't real, that he was that affected. The actors for Fred and George instantly auditioned, only because they wanted to miss a day of school. Literally something Fred and George would do. LMAO. Yeah, totally. I love stories like that where a lot of the kid actors were very similar to their characters, right? Yeah. But yeah, this kind of goes back to what I was saying, that I feel like if we had seen the emotional moments, I feel like so much of the heart was taken out. We really, Marc and I were riveted watching this movie. There was so much action and
definitely action packed.
Right, like we were on the edge of our seats, and so I don't think we were shocked. Like when you see like Neville, drawing the sword out, and we were just like in shock the whole time. So we didn't really get a chance to cry. I feel like if they slowed down every now and then and actually showed those moments of like maybe Mrs. Weasley grieving over her son or the twins.
Yeah, that would have been a big one. Mrs. Weasley grieving over her kid,
or any kind of like speeches. Like I don't know, Lupin's dying or something, and Harry speaks to him about what he meant to him or whatever. Those kind of moments that I just kind of am surprised they didn't leave in.
Yeah,
I guess they just made the choice to go more with action.
It was definitely action packed.
Yeah,
sure.
I mean, no complaints there. You know what I mean? But
it's good. And last but not least, Suvi.
Hey, Suvi's such a good friend of the channel. Hey, Suvi.
Hey, Suvi. So Suvi writes, "Wow, I can't believe it's over. So sad. Fortunately, there will still be a peach tea port. Here we are.
Hey.
And any other Harry Potter related content will be appreciated. Thank you so much, David and Marc. Thank you, Suvi.
Yes,
and thank you all our subscribers, viewers, patrons. We really appreciate you. It's been, oh my God, so much fun watching these films with you. I did the entire series with you guys.
Yeah.
And I loved it.
Yeah, I'm so happy about that. Oh, and with Fantastic Beasts. So we've talked about that. I think that's something we definitely want to watch.
Oh, yeah.
For now, we're going to move on past the world of JK just for a second. And I'm sure we'll work our way back once we start to miss it to watch those movies. But we want to see a couple other things, like we mentioned earlier, Hunger Games, Pirates, things like that. Some one-off movies. We're going to watch Jaws later tonight, so I think that's something that'll be fun. That Marc's going to be a part of. But yeah, and I kind of want to watch the reunion special, which, do you know what that is?
Mm-mm.
Okay, so the reunion special is kind of what started all of this, actually, why I wanted to watch Harry Potter again. Back in January, HBO Max did a documentary or a reunion special with the remaining cast, the crew, talking about their experience, things like that. And if you're not familiar, we have our Patreon, right? And I mentioned that earlier in the video, but Patreon, if you don't know what that is, it's basically just a site where if you want to contribute towards the channel, it helps creators like us with, making new videos, with one day hiring an editor, which is what we hope to do. So it's just kind of a way to like financially help out if you're able to. And if not, that's totally cool. We still love you guys just being here on YouTube. We'll still be doing Peach Tea and things like that. But over there is where, in exchange for that, creators will give a little bit of extra back, so extra content, some features that might not be here. So I don't know if you'd be wanting to do it or not, but we, maybe would want to do like a live stream of watching the reunion special.
That'd be fun.
Anything else you want to add before we... Vamos?
We might be doing a Christmas in July, so check that out.
Oh, yeah, right, with the Hallmark movies?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, we talked about maybe watching some really bad... I want to watch some bad movies, okay? Because everything I watch... And I know Marc would say the same with Harry Potter because he fell in love with it in the end. But I would say that like every movie I've watched so far, if I remember correctly, has been good. I want to watch something I want to watch something terrible that I can tear into but not offend anyone. So we're going to watch, I think, a couple of Hallmark movies and do a Christmas in July type thing. I don't think we'll really offend anyone. And if we do, you guys know Hallmark is just jokey.
We're poking just fine.
Yeah, it's just jokey. It's jokey movies. But anyway, so... Thank you guys so much. We really appreciate it.
Absolutely.
And we will see you guys in the next video. Be sure to like, share, subscribe, all those great things we certainly appreciate. But regardless, you guys have an amazing day, and we will see you in the next one.
Thank you. Bye.